Hello. We should be live in theory. Let me just check. Oh, hello, Xer. Yeah, so we are live, it seems. Alright. Hello. Advertise your Discord. I don't think that's necessary. Hello, Shanata. Hello, the Eternal Suffering. How is everybody doing today? Hello. Hello, Grimmy. How is everybody doing today? Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? That's the question. Hello, Mystic Angel. Can anybody hear me though? Yeah, hear? Okay, good. There was one stream where I just didn't record audio for the first 10-15 minutes of a stream, so that was that was something. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Audio is good. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, that's good. Yeah, just want to avoid a repeat of that happening. That was not fun. That's good, bro. Nothing much, just chilling. Had a good week. Hello, Sky Dragon. I can link the Discord server if you want. Congrats for 5k subs. Thank you. I remember that. Yeah. It was kind of embarrassing. So the plan for the stream is just pretty much chilling. Maybe do a top 10 list, maybe a tier list if you guys want. I don't really have much of a plan for this one, so it's just kind of having fun. Hey, how's your day going? Going good. This was a pretty chill day overall. How about you? How's your day? We have 14 people here. 14, 15. So yeah, my plan for this stream was kind of just to chat with you guys, as well as maybe do a top 10 list. Probably something One Punch Man orientated, but I did plan to do an anime fights list. Just like my personal top 10 fights, if anybody's interested in that. If not, then probably just a One Punch Man tier list or something like that. What if Naruto became Hokage? When is it coming? I am not really happy how that series turned out at this point. I don't know, I'll see how things go. How are you, my friend? I'm good. I'm doing pretty good. What if Deidara wasn't salty? He would have probably survived until the war. I mean, I don't see how he would die. And then he would probably sacrifice himself with the C0 to take out one of the shinobi divisions, probably. Something like that. Let me change the title of the stream really quickly. There we go. Thank you for 5,000 subscribers. Honestly, that was kind of a surprise yesterday, because I thought we were still a little bit away from that. You should do a Q&A for 5,000 subs. Maybe, but at the same time, I don't know if people really have that many questions to ask. I don't know, maybe, if there's a demand for it. Hey man, hey Nebula. Top 10 anime betrayals. That could be a good list. Did you watch Professor Fiction's demon level monster tier list? I did, but it was a little while ago, so I don't remember all the details, but I mostly agreed with it. Hello, Henry's Music and Games. Top 10 One Punch Man YouTubers. I honestly couldn't name 10. I watch like 3 consistently. What if Gaara stayed evil? That could be interesting, but at the same time, I feel like then the story would be kind of boring when it comes to him, because then people still, like, Naruto would still be the only one who wants to save him. So, I don't know, like, everybody else would just kind of abandon him, and then he would probably just get captured by the Akatsuki still, and yeah, not that much changes at first. It's during the war, like, he wouldn't be a commander at all. He probably wouldn't be a Kage as well, so yeah, I'd have to think about it. I definitely have that many questions to ask. I mean, you can ask them here if you want. I'd be down to answer. Oh, voice crack. Been a minute. Yeah, haven't uploaded in... Actually, no, I've uploaded pretty recently. I haven't streamed in a while. But if Orochimaru stayed good, I mean, he is still good right now in Boruto. Or I mean, like, if he never went evil, that could be interesting. What if Goketsu used 1% of his power? He would still be a Saitama victim regardless, unfortunately. Do you know Yasin? I do! We've talked a couple times in the comment sections of both of our videos. How many Goketsus would it take to defeat Sage Centipede? Well, you see, the thing is, Sage Centipede is slower than the speed of sound. So, I would say that it's a stalemate, regardless. Because Goketsu can never damage Sage, but Sage can never hit Goketsu. So yeah. What do you think about the latest One Punch Man chapters? Honestly, I'm very indifferent. Like, to me, the manga is just sort of... I don't know, I prefer the webcomic for the ninja arc by a mile. Like, the narratives, the characters are just so much more appealing in the webcomic to me personally. The diss track is amazing, thank you. I had so much fun with it. You have no idea how much I laughed during the making of it. Once you grow a lot more, you should do a community tier list on stream where people vote on or say. Yeah, that could be something. That could be interesting. Oh, nice listening to a stream when I'm not sure if I'm getting home alive in the slippery road condition. I'm the passenger. I would never use my phone while driving. Yeah, that's good. First of all, that's good that you're not using the phone while driving. But yeah, it's been slippery over here too. There were a couple close calls this year for me as well. Just walking on ice, where once I did fall down and I kind of sprained my leg a little bit. But yeah, nothing serious. But yeah, I hope you get home safe, Shines. Woman Rider Justice crashed Empty Void in the newest chapter. Yes, I did see that. It was a very interesting scene, and the narratives within that scene were just so good. Sorry. How strong do you think Goribas really is? We just don't know, but he is the strongest of the generals, and if you want to be really ratty, you could say that Saitama's Moonkick has been calced to multi-continental from the damage that it did to the moon when he jumped, and then the ship, the Boros ship, withstood that force, crashing into it, and then you can argue that Saitama was destroying parts of the ship and Goribas was still confident that he could fight Saitama, therefore making him multi-continental. You know, if you really want to make a ratty scale, you could do that. You could argue that. King versus Moomin Rider, King all the way. Definitely King. Goketsu blitzes and one-shots. Sage Centipede, yes, sure. I would agree. Diss track for Darkshine. Now, I feel bad for I want to make a separate video for Darkshine titled The Most Unfortunate Character in One Punch Man. Because he just gets screwed by life so much. Boros fourth form a possibility now? Maybe, we'll see. We'll see what they do with him. Where do you scale Flashy Flash? I did a video on top 20 strongest One Punch Man characters, so that one pretty much answers the question. I think right now he's stronger than Bang and stronger than a lot of the cadres. Madara versus Boros when? I'm not sure yet because I want to touch up on a lot of Boros scaling in that video, specifically with the Roar Cannon, and I'm kind of delaying on that, so I don't know when it will come out, but it will come out sometime. Is Empty Void on Fraud Watch? Maybe, we'll see, but he might be. He's on his way to Fraud Watch, I'll say that. It was that Boros from Undertale? I don't know. I've never played Undertale. Boros hitting us with a light skin stare. I don't know what that is either, actually. Hello, just joined. Hello, Fading. How are you? Crollo versus Hercules. In terms of stats, Hercules demolishes, if you're talking Record of Ragnarok. I'm assuming you're talking Record of Ragnarok, because that's the only Hercules I'm very familiar with. But if Crollo had a Volander and actually had the stats to keep up, then probably Crollo, because he's just so diverse. He could definitely overcome him. King versus Saitama. See, the thing is, King's luck is only as good as the universe around him. Like, if the universe can't save him, then the luck just can't work. So for example, against someone like Garo, you could say, oh, luck would just summon Saitama, but against Saitama, the only creature that King could summon to defend him is God, and I'm not sure if his luck can do that much. So for now, Saitama. Do you think that the Gorobas and Garugan ships' bodies were also taken by Metal Knight? Maybe, but I don't really think so. But maybe, you know, it's a possibility. Darkshine just needs therapy and he'll be the strongest. I don't think so. Like, he would be way stronger, yes, but I don't think he's matching up against Bang or Flashy Flash, personally. Do you think Tatsumaki can be the ninja leader? Probably not. I hope not, because it would be extremely underwhelming then if the ninja leader was hyped up for nothing. So, yeah. What if Boros intervened against God? He would win. He would do the nah, I'd win meme and then actually win. Top 10 frauds in One Punch Man? That's a good one. Would you call the potential man of one... Who would you call the potential man of One Punch Man? So, like, who has the most potential? Probably... I don't know, maybe Glasses? Because he's been set up to be strong in the future, maybe? But I'm not too sure. When Platinum S8 someone at the end of Season 1, was that the bite of 87? Bro, I love that meme. Was that the bite of 87? Etta of Boros turn good Season 2. I don't know what Etta means. I am not sure what Etta means in this context. Empty Void will fight Blast. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't just instantly die. Empty Void will totally solo Blast next chapter. We'll see. Probably not. Cosmic Goro versus Kid Buu. I think Kid Buu wins. Yeah, I think so as well at this point, because it's pretty well accepted at this point that Dragon Ball Z at its peak was universal. There are multiple arguments for it, so I would say so. Does Boros beat Monster Garo low mid diff? If you're talking Gargoyle Garo against released Boros, then I would say probably mid diff for Boros. I'm a Boros stand, I know. but you know, it's just what I think. King versus Pain, Nagato's main body just dies, it has a heart attack. What's up, y'all? What's up, no sir? Well, what if luck summons food poisoning in Saitama? Ooh, that's a good one. So Saitama just basically like just runs off in the middle of the fight. Best One Punch Man monsters in terms of how cool they look. Rover for me. Rover is cool, but for me, Orochi is the coolest in terms of design. He's just made up of like all these dragon-headed tendrils that can freely shapeshift into things, and he's just so intimidating. So he's probably my favorite design-wise. Cosmic Deep Seeking was in the newest chapter and got his revenge on Saitama. Yeah. Was a very cool scene. Who do you think is a better bullshit? King or Raiden from Mob? Reagan. I haven't seen... I tried to get into Mob, then I got to the episode where they like dress as girls and I dropped it. What are your thoughts on the current chapter of the manga? I don't really care. Like, I like the webcomic way more than the manga at this point, unfortunately. I vibe with it a lot more. You know, I won't berate the manga, like it has its good side as well. But for me personally, I like the webcomic way more, so I've kind of just sort of fallen out of love with the manga a little bit currently. Who has the most potential but hasn't achieved it? Probably Genos or Glasses again, something like that. Do you think that Empty Void is inspired by Slade and Deadpool? Maybe Deadpool? I don't know who Slade is, unfortunately. So he's just probably first for the top 10 biggest frauds? Yes, sir. Like, update on Boros Season 2. Oh. And for that, I actually have made a Patreon, if you guys aren't aware. So, I'm sort of gathering funds for it. Because right now I'm commissioning artwork and stuff. But I'm also doing it out of my own pocket, and I can't do that much out of my own pocket. So I have set up a Patreon if you guys would like to support it. There's no pressure to join at all. Like, just watching the videos is already good enough. But you know, if you would like to support the project more with like helping me commission artwork and voice actors and stuff, then that would be greatly appreciated. Though on the topic of voice actors, I'll try to just get them sort of, maybe not for free, but like I'll try to invite people instead of commissioning people. Because voice actors are apparently really expensive. Like, I've looked on several sites and, oh my lord. It's like, some are like $100 per 200 words, which is insane for me right now. Hypothetically, how many golden S's could Black S make? Probably less than 2, because we know it took most of him to make that single golden S, because it was made up of like 43 trillion cells, and that was after it lost an arm of 12 trillion. And then we know that there were only 11 trillion Black S cells remaining. Estimated time of arrival is at, they were asking how long for Season 2 Boros turn. Oh, okay. So, probably midsummer. That's like a safer estimate right now, I would say. It's like midsummer. Because I want to get a lot of it done before I actually start posting the videos. What if Glasses fought Boros and put his glasses onto Boros' one eye? I'm not sure what that would do. The energy rating from Boros would incinerate the glasses. Alcine says, Satri, congrats on your 5k subs. Definitely well deserved, buddy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to see you here. Top 10 anime characters? I plan to do that sometime. I could actually do that probably right now. What is the best panel in your opinion so far? To me, it's hard to choose. I could do an entire stream of like top 10 panels, maybe. But I would say probably... Okay, for now, the first one that pops into my head is the one where Boros comes up on Saitama with Giryuganshu falling in the background. And it's just this beautiful panel of him saying, "You defeated my subordinates most splendidly." Maybe that's the one for now. That's the first one that comes to mind, but I would have to think about it more. 3 favorite and 3 least favorite cadres. I would say favorite gotta be Black S. Gotta be Elder Centipede, just because I think his lore is really badass. Like, he's called a Calamity, and he's just a giant centipede. I like him a lot. And then maybe Rover? Goketsu is a good one as well. That's tough, but I'd say Goketsu. I like Goketsu. What if Tatsumaki touched God back then? Rest in peace, Earth. Rest in peace, planet Earth. I might do a Cosmic Tatsumaki video at some point, but I think she would be way, way stronger than Cosmic Garo was, at least at first, like initially, before Garo copies Saitama. Congrats on 5K, thank you. Hello Sadri, I've been watching your videos for quite some time and your work is really great, keep up the work. Thank you very much. You should do a video comparing the differences between the One Punch Man manga and webcomic. That could be good. That could be something. Oh, I missed a lot of messages by now. Sorry, I'm trying to like read every single message, so I'm sorry if I'm falling very far behind chat. Apologies for that. Battle of Kings, Hades versus Orochi versus Sukuna versus Meruem. Hades is definitely top 1 in Nier, Record of Ragnarok, because recently I've gotten deeper into Record of Ragnarok scaling and holy crap, like, wow. I'm gonna do Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon versus Garo and Saitama, probably at some point. I just made a thumbnail for that today, actually. So, yeah, just know, like, that is a matchup that I think is pretty good. So, Hades versus Orochi, yeah, Orochi I don't think holds up. Then Sukuna in 3rd place behind Orochi and then Meruem, I guess. That would be my ranking, personally. If you accept Dragon Ball's definition of solar system, then Super Perfect Cell has similar AP to Saitama Serious Punch and probably similar to much faster speeds. Now imagine Kid Buu. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, especially with guides and anime stuff, it just becomes so insane, scaling-wise. Your interpretation of Tatsumaki, if she turned into a monster or Cannon Blast. If she just turns into a monster, then Blast. But if she goes cosmic and doesn't just turn into a monster but just gains god powers, then Tatsumaki might actually win. Like, she has a chance, I would say. Slade is Deathstroke's real name. Okay, Deathstroke. See, now I'm thinking who Deathstroke is. I'm so uneducated on these things. Solar system's definition for the Dragon Ball is mistranslated. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not too in-depth into Dragon Ball scaling. That sucks. I think the manga is really good, but I'll admit that the webcomic is a bit more consistent and slightly better one. Storytelling. I would say, yeah. I'd say for me personally, I far prefer it to the manga in terms of storytelling. Recently, because the manga I really liked up until Garo woke up after Bang. Like, that's the point in the manga where, to me, it just sort of dipped. Personally. Do you think monster cells would affect Boros? Maybe, but I also think that maybe his immune system is just so good that it just completely disintegrates the cell without having any effect. What anime have you watched, manga have read? Ooh, that is... I think I've read like 20 different mangas / animes, you know, like watched and read. Let me see, Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, Record of Ragnarok, MHA, Black Clover, Attack on Titan, some of Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm anime only for that, Seven Deadly Sins, then there's Oh, which one? Tokyo Ghoul, Bleach. There's a lot. There's quite a few. I would voice act for free. Hey, you can message me on Discord and send me a couple voice lines, and we could see. Record of Ragnarok, top 10 strongest or favorite? That is so tough to decide on. I'll say just top 10 favorite, or maybe I'll say top 5 favorite, because top 10 is a lot. Top 5 favorite would be Hades #1 for sure, then Jack the Ripper, then probably Poseidon, because I really like Poseidon. I know he's kind of controversial, some people think he's bland. For me personally, I like him a lot. Then after that, probably Shiva and Raiden. Those are the two. And then after that would be Kunshihan, Tesla, Buddha, people like Adam, Zeus, people like that. Oh, voice actors are expensive. That's what I'm saying. Like, wow. Her voice acting in What If Boros Turns Good is actually pretty good. Thank you. Dull. Still think Sage is a bum or not? I will always think Sage is a bum. Unless the chapters get redrawn completely, and then he just gets new stuff for him. Which I'm kind of hoping happens, because as funny as hating on Sage is, at the same time it's kind of sad. Glasses is the GOAT. I made my character in Xenoverse 2 like him. Look like him. Yeah, that's funny. Do you think Boros could monsterize? If yes, could he beat Saitama? Maybe he could, maybe he couldn't, I'm not too sure. I think, like, I would guess that his immune system is just good enough to just completely disintegrate a monster cell and just not have any effect. That's what I would assume, that's my headcanon. But if he became a monster, I still don't think he could beat Saitama. I think he would need cosmic, like a cosmic boost to beat Saitama, not just a monsterization boost. Do you read One Punch Man webcomics? I have spoilers. I've read parts of it, but I haven't read all of it. I'm not caught up fully. How many Platinum S to beat Orochi? I mean, Orochi is not touching Platinum S under normal circumstances, but Platinum S can't really damage Orochi in my opinion, so, like, it's kind of just a stalemate no matter how many Platinum S's there are. Is Firestorm Phoenix Man stronger than Platinum S? Oh, by miles upon miles upon miles upon miles upon miles upon miles. If you're talking canon Platinum S. Hot Taking doesn't solo the verse. I agree. I think he solos most of it, but not all of it. Dark Matter Pirates arrived during the Monster Association arc instead, so there's a three-way war in Z City. That's a video suggestion that I've gotten a few times. So, I might make that as a one-shot video, as a one-shot what if at some point. Because I've gotten that quite a few times. What's your favorite ability in One Punch Man? The first thing that comes to mind is Black S. Like, it's just so creative. Could Cosmic Tatsumaki beat Saitama? I would say yes, but I know that that's controversial, so I won't die on that. I won't die on that hill. But I personally would say yes. Since Goketsu, Rover, Phoenix Man, Boro, Squad, which ranking they would be in S rank? Phoenix Man, he's kind of charismatic, like he can be. And he kind of looks like a human in a suit, not just a monster, so I'm assuming he'd be pretty high. Rover, he's not like a human being at all, like he's not even... He can't even speak or really do that much, but he's a dog and people would think he's cute, so he would probably be top 10. Goketsu would probably be scary to people, so he'd probably be low. In your Boros video, are you going to use Saitama scaling? Skull, skull, skull. Which Boros video? Oh, against Madara, okay. A little bit. Not much, though. I'm mainly going to focus on the Roar Cannon for the new stuff that I haven't covered yet. Big 3 versus Saitama and Garo is gonna be a goated vid. Yeah, Big 3 of Record of Ragnarok, just to clarify for anyone that joined in late. The Big 3, like Poseidon, Zeus, and Hades from Record of Ragnarok. Can Cosmogoro Hyperspace Gate bypass Gojo's Infinity? Maybe, but I'm not too sure how Infinity works. Because I haven't read the manga, I'm not too well versed in JJK scaling. I do actually plan to... Actually, like, if things go as planned, I will be recording a collab with someone else about Gojo versus the Monster Association. So that will be fun, and it'll be going up on my channel. Probably next week. So you can look forward to that. What's up, Satri? Tell me your top tiers, mid and high end AP plus scaling in short, please. Okay, so Record of Ragnarok top tiers. Mid-end scaling would be planetary, based on multiple lore statements, and then a couple actually, probably like the speed of light. Probably something like that, like mid-end, a few times above the speed of light, maybe. And then high-end would definitely be like Universal, because there's so much lore for Universal that it's actually like very, very consistent. So there's a lot of stuff for Universal, Record of Ragnarok. What do you think would have happened if Empty Void was sent to take care of Garo instead of Sage? I mean, we don't know how strong he is exactly yet, but I assume he would have done way better. Maybe even won. What's your stance on the databook statements, for example, Tatsu having bottomless power? You think it's just hyperbolic and inconsistent, or do you agree to some degree? The thing is, that guide, that specific statement of like bottomless pit of power, can move everything in creation and stuff like that, that is from a guidebook which specifically is from the Hero Association's perspective, I believe, right? Like, the Hero Association are the ones making those claims. And they, like, the guidebook says that King is, like, very strong, his power is unknown and stuff, when we know that that's obviously not the case physically. So I think it's just the association making baseless claims. For me. But then when we get to stuff about Boros, for example, then the association doesn't even know. So that's like, they don't even know Boros exists. So at that point, I think it is valid. Because then you wouldn't be going off of the association's view, you would just be going off of the author view and stuff. But for the actual heroes, we see that they speak from the Hero Association's perspective on them. This crying child one-shot the big three. Maybe. FNAF World does have insane scaling, and if you apply the scaling from FNAF World to the other FNAF floor stuff, then maybe. I can do a very convincing British accent if you need a British voice actor. Not in particular. Maybe, like, I wouldn't be against it, but I'm also not looking, like, in particular for just, like, someone with a British voice. I don't have any British characters coming over. Black Clover and My Hero Academia would be interesting for Merce's matchups against One Punch Man characters. Yeah, I'm not too well versed on the scaling for those series though, especially Black Clover. My Hero Academia I know a little bit, but Black Clover I would need to do a lot of research into the scaling. Have you read Berserk? I have not, but I plan to sometime. I know it's good. Fun fact, Kid Goku's multi-solar system, because the size of the Earth is 4 billion kilometers bigger than our solar system. It was stated in Dr. Slump, which is canon to Dragon Ball. Yeah, but at the same time, in another, like, I'm pretty sure in an interview... notifications. In an interview, which was mentioned in several videos by Seth, I believe, they basically, like, Toriyama says that the moon is like the same distance from the Earth in Dragon Ball that it is from our real life Earth, which would mean that the Earth cannot be that big. So yeah. What's your Discord? Let me join. Yeah, I can link the Discord. One moment. I'm trying to catch up to chat at least a little bit, because I'm very far behind. Alright, let's see. Alright, there we go, it should be here. Sage said, nah, I'd win. Yep. Might Guy versus Zeus. Volander always lets him use the 8 gates without any drawbacks. Okay, see, if Volander bulks up his AP by a lot, then maybe he could beat Zeus, because with Volander, it's specifically, like, you can just damage the gods. So even if you, as a human, don't scale anywhere near them, with Volander you can damage the gods. And Might Guy does have very good speed scaling. I think he loses to the Punch Beyond Time, but other than that, he could have a chance at winning. Do you have any theories on One Punch Man, manga and webcomic? Not currently. I don't theorize much about the series at the moment. How strong do you think members of Blast Team are? I mean, probably at least as strong as, like, the top of the top tier heroes like Tatsumaki, but probably greater. They're probably at least on the level where Boros was, I would assume. At least that strong. If they are at all relative with Blast. Cosmic Boros versus Cosmic Garo. I think Garo eventually wins because he will copy him. It depends. If Boros instantly goes for the kill, then he should one-shot, but then if he doesn't and he plays around, then Garo copies and wins, like you said. What if Sage had Platinum Master Peak Monster Garo's speed? Oh, then he would have probably... I don't know if he would have beaten Garo, but he would have definitely given them a much harder time. And then at that point, I would say that he probably beats Orochi too. Does Deep Seeking solo JJK verse besides Gojo? I don't scale JJK, but the people that I know that do scale JJK currently have it at a pretty high level at this point, because there's multiple statements for, like, at least country level and stuff like that. So, maybe, maybe not. I'm not too well versed in JJK. Who, in your opinion, is the weakest character from any verse who can, in your opinion, beat Saitama? I mean, I'm not too sure. I'd have to think about it a lot. But, like, it would probably be someone from Dragon Ball. Maybe, like... Hold on, what is this music? Why are there voices in the background? I'm resetting the music, the background music. I'm not sure. Like, honestly, maybe, like... Super Perfect Cell, something like that. I'm not too sure. I like that Boros artwork. Yeah, it's a good one. I just found it on Google Images. Do you scale or read comics? Not really. Mostly just mangas and animes. Lobotomy Kaizen Pog. How strong would initial Cosmic Garo be with everyone else hacks and abilities? I mean, probably pretty strong, but nothing too crazy. Like, his standing in the verse wouldn't change at all. He still beats Boros, but loses to Saitama badly. Genos wouldn't be on Fraud Watch if he was in Hunter x Hunter or Naruto. Depends on what point in Naruto, but yeah, like Hunter x Hunter, he solos. Naruto early on he solos, but later on, no. In my opinion, at least. But if you can type latest One Punch Man webcomics, your mind will be amazingly happy. I mean, I know what happens in the latest webcomic chapters. The big reveal concerning a certain one-eyed alien. That I know. I know Boros would one-shot, but if Garo could come... there's a sort of a debate going on with Boros versus Garo and Cosmic in chat. From what we have seen right now, I think Blast would win against Empty Void, question mark. What do you think? From what we've seen right now, definitely. But we'll see how strong Empty Void ends up being. Also, the Boros squad currently, Rover, Goketsu, and Phoenix Man. Who do you think the duo will those three make? Like Garo and Metal. I'm not sure I understand the question. Could you rephrase it, maybe? How strong would Orochi be if he absorbed all the cadres? Pretty strong. He absorbed Psychos and then got God powers on top of that, and he went up to like near Tatsumaki somewhat. So he could probably jump up to being Tatsumaki level, maybe even above it. And you should do a FNAF World scaling video. The thing is, I'm not too well versed in it either. Stop using that scaling when he realizes how dumb that scaling is. What scaling? Black Clover is FTL, MFTL in speed and country to multi-continental in AP. That sounds about right. Empty Void took a gravity knuckle from Blast just like Cosmic Garo. Do you think they are close in durability? Maybe, we shall see. We don't know if if Blast really was going all out or not. We'll see. Put Hunter x Hunter, MHA, Naruto in the same world and the corruption would be insane. Oh my god. The Foundation plus the hero associations from both series. Yeah, that would be... the corruption levels would be absolutely insane. Adam versus Madara? Definitely Adam, from what I know. Unless Limbo can negate the eyes. That's the only way I could see Madara winning. If Adam cannot see Limbo. Which it could be the case, because it's in a different dimension. Empty Void versus Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki probably loses at this point, I would say. Like, from the feats we have right now, she demolishes, but Empty Void is probably gonna be revealed to be way stronger in the next chapter or two. Black Clover has at least large star level AP lowball. Maybe. I'm not too sure. I haven't read it, so. I've only watched the anime for Black Clover. The only human that can damage God with pure strength is Adam, since Raiden is still coat his body with Volander. Yeah, but the thing is, Volander always gets like a huge buff to the humans in Record of Ragnarok, both durability wise and AP wise, so that they can damage the gods and withstand their blows to some extent. How well do you think that Boros race member from Blast Team scales up to Boros himself? I don't think anything at this point, because we just don't know. I would assume he's stronger, just because he's a Blast crew member. JJK's top tier is Annihilate Deep Seeking? I would believe that. Malekith, I see, really doesn't like JJK. JJK is planetary, JJK black hole, nowhere near planet. But there's a whole debate going on now. Can you do a video on quite talked about fight, in my opinion, Mob versus Tatsumaki? I personally think Tatsumaki wins because she's more experienced. I have not read Mob Psycho. I dropped off at the episode where they just dress as girls. I did not like that at all. I just left. I don't know. Like, the whole art style, the whole goofiness of it, it's like One Punch Man, but the worst parts of it, for me. Peter Griffin scales above One Punch Man. I would believe that. Duo, Ocean, Water, and Sage Centipede, good speed versus One Punch Man Gauntlet. I mean, they beat pretty much everybody until they get to Tatsumaki and Sairochi, I believe, then. Was easier than that time I beat Saitama. Don't know if that's a hot take, but Sonic and King are the only consistently funny characters in One Punch Man. I would agree. Maybe there's someone else, but yeah. Should have gotten an Orochi Platinum S fusion instead of Sage. That would have been sick, but I don't really know how that would have happened. Unless Orochi absorbs Platinum S. Goku versus Garo? I believe Goku definitely wins. I hope we see at least one S-tier Nen Beast in Hunter x Hunter. Hopefully. Hopefully if it continues. Would Genos be affected by Genjutsu? Probably, because he still has a mind and a soul. And we know that characters in One Punch Man have ki or aura, which if we do verse equalization, it would equate to chakra. And we have confirmation in one of the recent chapters by Nichiren that a person can still channel their ki through even an artificial body, like it's specifically stated. So I think Genjutsu would work. We should have oh yeah. Who would have won a fight between Meteoric Burst, Boros without any prep, fought against P, Cosmic Fear, Phoenix Man? Definitely Cosmic Fear, Phoenix Man. Without any help, not prep, sorry. Cosmic Fear, Phoenix Man would have definitely won. Like, will Rover, Goketsu, and Phoenix Man make a duo? For example, Phoenix Man with Genos or something, Rover with Watchdog Man. They're mostly a trio, I'll say that. They're mostly a trio with each other. You have extra cool idea for a versus battle. Orochi Cadre is absorbed versus Boros. I mean, I still think Boros definitely wins. If we see more from Blast, hopefully. The more we see from Blast, the more I can include in Season 2 of What If Boros Turned Good. So that's a win for me. Hot take, Meteoric Burst Boros. First stage of Cosmic Garo with no buffs, no power increase. Over first stage of Cosmic Garo. Maybe. I'll put that down under maybe. I don't entirely disagree. What do you scale Hajun from Shinza Bancho? Hold on, what is Shinza Banjo? Hold on, 1 second. Because Hajun I know is from Record of Ragnarok. But Shinza Banjo is like... what exactly? Oh, it's its own series. I don't know the series, so I don't really know where he would scale. Don't know if that's a hot take. Oh yeah, I've already tried that. Adam versus Monster Garo, who can go gargle mid-fight, who wins? I would definitely say Adam. Because there's a lot of consistent universal narratives for Record of Ragnarok, or at least planetary. Bare minimum planetary. What if the Renegon never existed? The series would be a lot more boring, because there would be no Pei, Nagato. Or there would be, but he wouldn't be... like, he would have lived a normal life. Not a normal, he's still an orphan of war, but he would have achieved his dream of achieving peace in the Rain Village, I would say. And then Madara would not be completing his goals nearly as easily in the war. Cosmic Boros with Monster Cells versus Saitama, who wins? I would say Cosmic Boros wins, personally, but I know that's a hot take, so I will not stand on that hill. I will not die on that hill, I mean. Do you think Boros is an underrated character? No, I think people like him a lot. I think he's not underrated. I think he's fairly rated. I rarely ever see people really dissing on Boros. What if Obito never Genjutsu'd Yagura? Not that much changes, in all honesty. Like, the Mist Village would just be a much better place. Imagine a Boros cyborg with nuke powers, like the What If Genos became a monster. And that could be interesting. But nukes are kind of fodder to the verse at this point. So... if you get an Omnitrix and you can pick 10 characters' DNA that you want to add to your Omnitrix, what is your choice? That's a tough one. So like any character in anime or just like One Punch Man or what? But either way, like let's just say I can pick 10 characters who I can just become at any point and then control. Definitely Madara at his peak, because he just has so many ridiculous hacks abilities that it's insane. Then I would say probably Boros, because why not? You know, it would just be fun. Then, this is a tough one. Like, I would have to think about it. Let's see. Maybe Cosmic Garo, because then I could copy other abilities and stuff like that. So that's 3 now. Then, I would say maybe... that might make a good video, honestly. Because there's just so many to choose from, like all of fiction. So, that's a good one. What if Saitama never went bald? If he doesn't break the limiter, because the only way he remains not bald is if he doesn't break the limiter, then Boros slaughters everyone and blows up the earth. And we know Blast wouldn't intervene because Blast is an absolute fraud when it comes to defending the earth. The collapsing star Roaring Cannon was going off, he didn't know Saitama was there, and he did nothing. So, he was either preoccupied at that point or just didn't care, so the earth would be gone. Is your Boros story going to meet Blast teammates, that's a species? We don't know anything about him at this point, so no, because I'm not including anything that we have no information about. So like no Neo heroes at this point, no Empty Void, because he just doesn't fit with the narratives that I've already crafted. Maybe in Season 3, if there ever is one. Do you think Gon should get his Nen back? Maybe, but I feel like he served his purpose as the protagonist. I think we can move on. Because personally I find Kurapika or Chrollo, maybe even Hisoka, like those three being the main protagonists would be absolutely insane. Like Kurapika for the regular protagonist side, you know, the hunters. Chrollo for the Phantom Troop, and Hisoka as a wild card. Like those three as main characters would be absolutely insane. What if Neji replaced Naruto on Team 7? They die on the bridge. Haku kills them. Actually no, he wouldn't kill them, but the bridge builder would die. And then, yeah, then they get killed in... Okay, the Chunin exams, they don't die either, because Orochimaru doesn't want to kill them. But they die to Gaara. Gaara kills them later on, when he transforms into his Shukaku mode. Speedo Sound Sonic versus Human Garo. Personally, I'm backing Human Garo if it's Season 2 Sonic, but if it's current Sonic, definitely Sonic for me. If Boros got a weapon, what would it be? I would assume a giant sword, because he has like knightly armor. So like a sword that he could channel his energy through. That could be cool. Is everyone in the real world out reversal, since anyone can make fiction? I don't subscribe to takes like these. I don't know. It just sounds kind of goofy to me, personally. Gonna dip and draw page 64 of my comic, but before I go I have one last joke. Peter Griffin, Roadhouse versus Serious Punch. Peter Griffin wins. Good luck with the drawing, Animated Broman. Hope it goes well. What if Nagato never became crippled? He would definitely capture Naruto in their battle, and then after that, the series is kind of over, the Infinite Tsukuyomi happens. Actually, maybe not, because I don't think Obito could actually beat healthy Nagato with the orange mask on. I think he would need to go... he would need the Rinnegan, like white mask, to beat healthy Nagato, which he can't get because Nagato isn't dead. How long do you plan to keep What If Boros Turned Good going? For Season 2. Like, the Season 2 is going to be the end of the story, but then if we get a lot of stuff from the manga, then maybe there will be a Season 3 later down the line. Depends on how Season 2 will end, though, as well, because, you know, maybe Boros dies. Who knows? Do you do Nasuverse scaling? Fate? I do not. I want to watch Fate, but at the same time it's so confusing on what I should watch first. What if Kakashi wasn't given the Sharingan? He dies. he dies at some point, and then... yeah, the series just goes downhill from there. Fan-made Terra 2 Saitama versus Record of Ragnarok. I do not scale Terra 2 at all. I've never even read the comic, so I can't really say. Saitama versus every One Punch Man character at the same time. I believe God is stronger than Saitama, but if we removed him, then definitely Saitama. You did a poll about a while ago about writing your own story. Do you still want to give it a try? Yeah, at some point I would like to. It would just take a lot of time, which I don't really have right now. So we'll see. How far do you think Boros gets in Dragon Ball? See, Dragon Ball is weird, because if you really highball them, then, like, he does not get past the Saiyan Saga at all. Like, Saiyan Saga characters can be argued to be star level. But if you downplay them, then Boros can get into those Namek Saga tiers somewhat, but then he's never getting to Frieza, I'll say that. Like, no matter how you scale. For me, personally, at least. Would Genjutsu work on Saitama? Probably not, because he seems immune to such things. Is there a universal scale from One Punch Man? Maybe there is a ratty one, but right now, currently, I don't think there is like a solid universal argument for One Punch Man. Anime Omnitrix lol. Yeah. That's a funny video idea though, like it would genuinely be fun. Hello, congrats on 5k, thank you, MZ over 9,000. If it's not a spoiler, what compelled you to put Boros at the beginning of his power progression in your what if? I'm not sure I understand the question. What compelled you to put Boros at the beginning of his power progression in your what? I'm not sure I understand the question. Like, what compelled me to just keep him at like the same level as he was in canon, or like to make him become stronger over time? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean, Magoti. If it's like what compelled me to make him stronger over time, it's just like the villains become much stronger, so he kind of has to keep up. And an in-universe reason is he met God and he just really got like frightened by that power, so now he wants to catch up to it and actually fight it and have a good time. Were you there for the stuff DG went through last night? I was not. What did he go through? I was not. I was there for one stream where he said something about Mewtwo, which we don't talk about, and then everybody bullied him for it. That was really fun. That was like the best stream I've ever been a part of. Hey, Omnitrix content. Nice, I got more than I wanted. Yeah. Garo's adaptability with Boros' region, with Madara's hacks, Zeus's physical stats, and Meruem's intelligence solos most characters. Yeah, that would be absolutely insane. Garo's adaptability with like one of the best regions ever, with some of the most broken hacks ever, ripping out souls, clones in different dimensions, suppressing like all this stuff. And then Zeus's physical stats, he beat like a personification of time character if you really want to highball him. So it could be like beyond time speed if you really want to highball. But yeah, it would be crazy. I think Chrollo is gonna die in this arc. Maybe, but I hope not. But 3 solid choices for the Omnitrix. Yeah, those are like the first ones that come to mind for me. What if Orochi had Garo's adaptability? Honestly, it wouldn't make that much of a difference, because against Saitama, he's still losing in that first punch. And then, as Sairochi, like, if she keeps the adaptation ability, then she could probably beat Tatsumaki, but then she would die to Saitama later. Congrats on 5k, thank you. Isn't being goofy the point of everything? Personally, I wouldn't say so. But yeah. Where would you scale Boros' collapsing star roaring fist? Okay, so the thing is, so Boros survived an attack that was basically a condensed hypernova. Hypernovas are solar system level. And Boros survived that, and then the collapsing star roaring fist maybe isn't quite as strong as that, but it's definitely close. So you can say solar system. However, I didn't really write those scenes with like specific scaling, like jewels in mind or whatnot. Because it's annoying to write like that, in all honesty. Duo Healthy Itachi and Nagato versus Naruto Gauntlet. Hey, my buddy and I, Sage of the Calves is his name, we made a video on Nagato and Itachi versus a Warrior Gauntlet. So, if you want to check that out, you could. If you just type Sage of the Calves, Nagato and Itachi, it should come up on his channel. We did a collab on that. Will Boros meet the Boros that's Blast's partner? No, he will not. I'm not including the Neo Heroes or Empty Void or this new stuff from the manga at this point, or stuff that we know nothing about, because we know nothing about it yet, so it's just hard to include them without making my own stuff up. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. In the end, we will all die, probably go to hell for not choosing the right religion among thousands of religions. That midlife crisis is hitting. Yeah, sorry for showing up late, had stuff to do. No worries, it's all good. Happy to have you here now. What if Sasuke never left the village? That's a pretty good topic, but at the same time, I don't think that much changes. Well, actually, a lot of stuff would change. A lot of stuff would change. It would need to be its own what if. How strong do you think God really is, and what do you think his goals are? Basically, what do you think God's role in the manga is going to be? If I had to assume, I would be like... The primary, like, basic goal is definitely to wipe out humanity, because he specifically makes monsters to wipe out humanity and tells them to wipe out humanity. As far as power goes, I mean, I can imagine him being universal, but for now we just don't have the feats to back that up. But I could imagine him being that strong in the future. One Punch Man is becoming more Dragon Ball fight-like every chapter. Yeah, sort of. If you could pick any dojutsu from Naruto, which would you pick? That's a good one. If I would pick... Like, if I could pick without any drawbacks, or like the way the character used them, definitely Kamui of Obito. Like both Kamui eyes. Because that would be super clutch for real life. Like, transportation would not be an issue, I would be always safe. And I would not go blind at all from the Mangekyo Sharingan, because Obito never goes blind. But if I get the drawbacks and I go blind, then definitely not. I think a solid one is the Tenseigan, because it's so overpowered and it gives a lot of the Rinnegan abilities as well. Specifically the gravity control, like Tendo Pain's abilities. Ada's dojutsu would also be extremely good, because then you become like the best spy in existence. Like, you just go to any government at all, and you just like give them the rundown on everything that's been happening in the world. You get like a super high paying job, and then you just become like, I don't know, like government puppet, but you live the high life or whatever. Like, if you want to go that route, you could pick Ada's dojutsu, because she can just know everything that happened within her lifetime. But yeah, I'll probably go with Tenseigan, personally. When he tells Phoenix Man, he says that he's only just begun his growth. Yeah. So, like, he just began his growth, yes. So, like, he doesn't train... Like, he hasn't trained before, he just naturally grew this strong. But then, now that he's starting to train, he has a lot of potential to exploit. Sort of like Frieza. Maybe not as crazy. Webcomic Monster versus Manga Garo, from Human to Cosmic. The webcomic stats-wise is far behind the manga. So even the first versions of Monster Garo would probably decimate Webcomic Garo. What if Ibuki was as strong as Tats? Then we would have two Tatsumakis running around pretty much, and a lot of trouble would probably be avoided, because we just have two Tatsumaki level characters running around killing monsters. And then they just absolutely demolish the Monster Association, I suppose. Kamigaro is a monster. Character-wise, definitely. And I like him way more than Magagaro, but in terms of power, he's not as impressive. How strong do you think Speedo Sound Sonic is? Probably like a tier below Flashy Flash, I would assume. Current Flashy Flash, specifically. TG was spurring for money? I kind of find that hard to believe, but I don't know. If Tatsumaki broke her limiter, would it boost her psychic powers? I would assume so. What if Bang never turned good? That's an interesting hypothetical, but I don't think much changes in the grand scheme of things. Like, Garo would just be more unhinged maybe, because he would train under a much harsher, much more evil master, you could say. A better question would be, would she go bald? Oh no. Do you like the difference between One Punch Man manga and webcomic? I liked it up until a certain point, because up until a certain point I thought that the manga was improving upon the webcomic, but now currently I think the webcomic is far superior to the manga story-wise and character-wise, for me personally. So now I think, like, I wish they did it more like the webcomic. What if Boros was in DBZ, and of course he would appear at Planet Level Saga? If he died, then how about what if Boros turned good? I wanted to make a video on what if Boros was in Dragon Ball, and I have a script written out for it, specifically about what if Garo and Boros were in Dragon Ball. And it was a pretty interesting topic, but I just never got around to editing it. I don't know why, it just feels so wrong whenever I do Dragon Ball videos, like something just feels off. For me. I refuse to imagine that. What is the most overpowered character ever in anime? I don't know. I've not seen the most overpowered animes. The strongest anime I know is probably Dragon Ball, which is, like, I know it's nowhere near the strongest anime, it's just the strongest one I've seen. Duo Naruto and Sasuke versus One Punch Man Gauntlet. They clear most of the verse, I'll say that. At least I think so. Like, at their peaks, they clear almost everybody. The only competition at their peaks is Saitama, Garo, and God. King 2, maybe. Maybe Blast. Maybe. Yeah, Blast is in competition. Kamui would be so useful in real life, definitely. Have you ever been interested in reading One Piece? If not, what about it didn't you find interesting? See, the thing is, I've watched the first 50 episodes of One Piece, and I liked it enough to start reading the manga. But the thing is, I most of the time read manga in semi-public places. And the thing about that is that the One Piece manga just looks so goofy that I'm kind of embarrassed to read it in public. Like, not gonna lie, that's my guilty secret, I guess. So, I've just not had the time to read it. Maybe someday, but currently I'm not planning to read it anytime soon, I'll say that. I want to read it, but it's just that factor that I either have to not read it or read it in a semi-public place, which then I find it kind of embarrassing. What if the Byakugan was as good as the Sharingan? Neji would probably be relevant to the plot, I'll say that. Hinata too. How do you think Hero Hunter Garo vs Season 2 Sonic would go? I think Hero Hunter Garo wins, personally. I would choose Eternal Mangekyo Rene Sharingan. Yeah, that's a good one. Many abilities. Understandable. What do you think Saitama's reaction would be if he met the other Boros? I'm not sure. I'm scared that they would make it so that he doesn't remember Boros at all. That's like the thing that I don't want to happen. What I would want to happen is he recognizes the guy and he says, "Oh, you look like the strongest guy I've ever fought." You know? just to get that Boros glaze in there. Sorry about the noises from the chair squeaking a little bit. Orochi with Awakening Breath versus Monster Goro. Depends on which version of Monster Goro, but I think he wrecks a lot of them. With Awakening Breath especially. Random info, Jinwoo is universal. I do not know who Jinwoo is. What if Tatsumaki never existed? Sairochi kills everybody. Because Sairochi would still be formed, and because Orochi would just find Psychos by himself and he would still fuse with her, and then God would give them a boost, and then she slaughters everybody on the surface, and then Saitama comes along way too late and then one-shots her. But before that can happen, everybody else is dead. So, or she absorbs them into herself. I just realized with Omnitrix giving the prime of the character, that would mean Garo with all the hacks given by God, Boros maybe with no restraints, and Prime Uchiha, Proc, and Access Obito ability too. Yeah. Do you think Glasses would eventually break his limiter as well? Maybe. I think he could. What exactly do you dislike about the manga? What exactly do you find superior in the webcomic? The biggest thing for me is the tone. Because in the manga, the tone is super light right now. Like, the manga, in the webcomic, Garo was so much darker than in the manga. And everything after that was so much darker in the webcomic compared to the manga. So that's one thing. The manga is just becoming so goofy recently. I don't know. I'm not really too into it. The characters don't hit as hard for me as well. Like, it's just... I would need to make an entire video for it, because there's a lot to talk about there. What if Garo's in Naruto? Would he be more aligned with Naruto and Ko? The Akatsuki, or do his own thing? He would definitely do his own thing. He would definitely do his own thing, but I'm not sure what he would be trying to prove. Like, would he try to prove that rogue ninjas are, like, a good thing, and, like, would he try to prove that shinobi have no purpose? Something like that. I don't know. What if Goku was in Dragon Ball? He would have broken his limiter several times over. I assume you mean Goku in One Punch Man? Yeah, he would have definitely broken it a long time ago. What if Kakuzu was relative to Hashirama? What do you mean? He already was. He killed Hashirama. Carnage Kabuto versus Half Monster Garo. Exactly what do you mean by Half Monster Garo? That is the question. What Garo is that specifically? If it's like... I will say the weakest Garo that I think beats Carnage Kabuto at his full power in Carnage mode is Spiral Garo. I'll say that. Then what about reading the One Piece manga on stream? That would be even worse, because I already don't have very much time to stream. So if I had to coordinate the two of them, like those two actions both simultaneously, I would be reading like, I don't know, like 5 chapters a month probably. Do you think that Hisoka is intentionally made agonophilic? Fighting or combat sports, or was the purpose just to be a creepy clown? No, he's definitely that word, agonophilic. Like, he definitely gets off on fighting. That's for sure. I think he was intentionally made to be that way. What if there were no frauds in One Punch Man? Well, then we wouldn't have the diss track. The Sage diss track would have never come out. Is there a One Punch Man ship you like? I'm not much of a shipping guy, personally. I'm not against it, but I don't really do it myself. I guess, like, if I had to pick, I don't know, maybe like Gear Spear and Mizuki, like, they kind of go well together, I guess. But yeah, like, none of the popular ships are my cup of tea at all. Yeah, read One Piece. Maybe someday again, but not anytime soon. I just don't have the time. How do you think Saitama will react to Boros being revived in the webcomic? I'm not sure. It just depends on what one wants to do with it. he's either going to have completely forgotten about him or remember him right away. Like, it's one or the other, for me personally, I think. I guess maybe it could be that he, like, doesn't remember at first, but then remembers when they fight or something. I don't know. Do you think Deadpool is one of the most overpowered characters in comic manga, because he can break through the fourth wall? I don't scale Deadpool at all. I never think about him scaling-wise, so I'm not sure. I don't think that makes him that impressive, unless he wrote his own story. Webcomic Garo over Manga Garo in terms of writing, Manga Garo over Webcomic Garo visually. Yeah, I agree with that. Spiral Garo versus Bomb, I definitely have Bomb winning. Because while fatigued, he was keeping up with a stronger Garo. What's your favorite Garo form? Spiral Garo, for sure. Spiral Garo or Awakened Garo from the webcomic? It's one or the other. In the manga, definitely Spiral Garo. He's like the perfect Garo for me. Like, he's intimidating, he seems monstrous, but at the same time, he's not actually a complete monster. He realizes that what he's doing is basically bullying, and then he's like, no, this isn't what I want to do, and then he goes on a whole, like, monologue about what he wants to do as a monster. Sade's diss track is a treasure. Thank you. I had so much fun with it. What if Obito survived? He would get probably downgraded in Boruto to just being a side character. Do you like the difference between the One Punch Man manga and webcomic? Again, like, early on I liked the differences because I thought the manga was improving on the webcomic, but now I don't like the differences because I think the webcomic is superior to the manga, personally. At this point, currently. Like, since the, like, later portions of the Monster Association arc. Hisoka going to be tweaking. I hope Saitama remembers Boros. Yeah, I hope so as well. Resident Evil and One Punch Man. I have not played Resident Evil, so I can't really say. If Boros fought Goku, then Boros would lose, but be excited and Goku would spare him? Probably. Depends on what version of Goku though as well, because some versions spare people, some versions don't. Do you think the theory is true that Saitama can break the fourth wall? If it was already proven, then I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care at this point. He did sort of break the fourth wall in one single panel, where he referenced, like, we did that in like one page or something like that. But that's like the only instance where he does anything like that. Deadpool killed his authors, I think. Damn. Would you prefer Cyborg Boros to be a mindless fight? No. Actually have autonomy and maybe try to seek out Saitama. Definitely that option. I would hate it if he was just a mindless fighting machine. I would hate it. Boros glazing video coming soon. I guess, like, if you want to say Madara versus Boros would be me glazing Boros. I don't know if it is, but maybe. I think depending on their performance against Blast, Void would probably beat Boros. Yeah, we'll see how he performs. Where do you scale MHA? I don't scale MHA, like, at all at the moment. I haven't been keeping up with the latest chapters. But, like, if I had to pick, then honestly I'm not sure at all. I don't know. I just watch MHA for the enjoyment and the characters' entertainment. I try to do that with most series. Like, I try to not look at the power scaling and just enjoy them for what they are. Because I find that when I look into power scaling, most of the time I start enjoying the series less. I think Saitama will remember Boros because he said himself that Boros was the first strong guy Saitama met. Yeah, he called him strong 3 times, so he definitely recognized him to some degree, at least. The Sage Centipede diss track was crazy. Yeah, thank you. What if Sasuke was in One Punch Man? Depends on what version of Sasuke, but if it's like the higher versions, then he would have definitely just seeked out and destroyed the Monster Association all on his own before he even came to the surface. And then after that, I guess he would be just like probably a partner to Blast, in all honesty. Like he would replace Empty Void. Same, it's like One Punch Man manga does what webcomic made fun of. Yeah. What's your opinion on Metal Bat keeping up with his buffs after or a bit after his pumped up states? I think it's a solid theory. It explains to some degree at least why he was able to do the stuff that he did in the Garo fight, like later in the Sage Centipede showdown. Like, it's not confirmed, but I think it's fine. Like, it doesn't contradict anything, I don't think. Boros deserves glazing. Yes. Generally, do you like My Hero Academia and Black Clover? I have not been keeping up with the latest chapters of either of them, but I really, really like the Black Clover anime. I tried getting into the manga, but the thing is it was too fast coming from, like, the pacing of it for me felt too fast coming from the anime. So I kind of didn't pick it up as well. Like, I'll probably try to get back into it. MHA I was loving until the end of the war, but then after that it just kind of goes downhill with All for One doing everything. So, I don't know. But generally I do like both of them. I'm just gonna give an idea. Oh, all ideas. What if Venom was in One Punch Man? What stand suits S-Class? S-Class is Pokemon trainers. Ragnarok in One Punch Man. What if S-Class got Devil Fruits? Okay, so Ragnarok in One Punch Man, that's really interesting. Devil Fruits, I don't know, because I have not read One Piece fully at all. Like, I've read like 2 chapters and I've watched 50 episodes, so I can't really comment on that. What stands suit the S-Class could be fun, but I've only seen the first 3 parts of JoJo, so I haven't seen the latter parts. And then, as Pokemon trainers, I've not seen Pokemon ever. Not a single episode. Shocking, I know. I was more of a Bakugan Beyblade kind of guy. So, yeah, just, I don't really know what to do with that. I can't really do that idea. Venom in One Punch Man could be cool, but the only Venom I'm familiar with is the live-action Venom. From the Raimi trilogy and then the, like, from his own duology of movies. And then also I'm kind of familiar with Venom from The Amazing Spider-Man, or the Spectacular Spider-Man, that's the name of the show. By the way, that show was amazing. I loved it so much. I need to rewatch it sometime. Would Jack the Ripper eat a monster cell? After his battle with Hercules, probably not. I don't think he would. Be right back, gotta restart my PC. Okay. Hot take, Boros could take on the whole Monster Association, including Sage Centipede and Sairochi, without using Meteoric Burst. Well, on this channel I don't think that's much of a hot take anymore. I've kind of expressed that quite a bit in my videos. But yeah, I definitely agree. I'm gonna head out, see ya. Congrats also on 5K. Thank you, Blaze. See you then. Have a good day. What's your favorite anime? Anime specifically, probably Naruto. But then if it's manga, and like if you include the manga, definitely Tokyo Ghoul by a large margin. Tokyo Ghoul is wow. Like actually so good. Tokyo Ghoul is wonderful. So that would be my favorite out of any anime manga. You have a really cool accent. What country are you from? I'm from one of the Baltic states. Thank you for the compliment, I suppose. What if Rukia wasn't JJK? She next the verse. Rukia is strong. It just depends on where you scale Bleach exactly, but in terms of stats, even if you lowball Bleach, Rukia is definitely still the strongest in the JJK verse by a lot. She would probably just kill Sukuna, because Sukuna doesn't have infinity or anything like that, so there's no debates on that. Adult Gon beats Meruem. Pre-Rose, possibly. But post-Rose, I would argue no. But pre-Rose he has a solid chance, depending on what scaling you use exactly. If you think he's faster than Netero, then definitely. When you understand, you gain more appreciation, but when you start analyzing, it's like looking at every image with a 500% zoom. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about power scaling anime at this point. I try not to, but yeah. Base Boros. Is that like an added... No, that's a different question. Like Base Boros... Oh, sorry, I got lost a bit. Oh, later chapters of MHA is very cool. You should check it out. I will at some point. I need to catch up. I never thought of the argument that Naruto world was big until you brought it up. Are there any other things to support it? There are some, like how the God Tree is viewed from different parts of the world. Like the curvature evidence. Like there's some stuff. There's like a whole thing to go into. Base Boros over evil natural water and centipede, forgot its whole name. Do you mean like evil ocean water and sage centipede? Cause Base Boros? I don't... Like maybe? Maybe? But if it's released then definitely, I would say. Hot take, but the first 3 parts are the good ones. I assume you mean for JoJo. I can't comment on that because I haven't seen the others, but I will say they're definitely good. It takes 3 days to get from Leaf to Sand with a Jonin speed. That's a very long distance they're covering. Yeah, and Jonin are way faster than Genin, who can already dodge sound waves casually. So, it just... Like, they have to be traveling bare minimum at the speed of sound. Like, in combat, they would be many times faster than the speed of sound. But if just travel speed lowballed, you could say they're traveling at the speed of sound, and that still makes the world of Naruto huge. Where do you scale Inazuma 11? I don't know who that is. What dojutsu would you give the Phantom Troop and the S-Class? That's a pretty interesting one. For Tatsumaki, I would say probably Tenseigan, because then she would get a Chakra Cloak and she could enhance her physical body a lot with it, plus enhance her abilities. For Bang, definitely the Sharingan. Flashy Flash Sharingan as well, because that would just amp their perception, make them even faster, give them precognition and stuff like that. For Darkshine, maybe the Rinnegan, because then he would be able to just pull a person in with Bancho Tenin and then just slam them with a fist. Like, it suits his fighting style pretty well, and it would make him a lot more versatile. From the Phantom Troop, Crollo with a Rinnegan sounds absolutely ridiculous. Like, the amount of combos he could pull off is crazy. Then... Like, you know he has the Fun cloth, right? Like, the one cloth that he can just wrap around a person and then just shrink them and basically seal them in, like, a mini pocket dimension. That's what would happen with... He just goes into a fight, instantly just pulls a person into the cloth with the Rinnegan and then just seals them. Like, that's how every single fight would go with him, unless the other person is fast enough to speed blitz him completely. Do you ever plan on doing a collab with Yasin? Maybe. I'd be down for that. Do you have a favorite animal? Saltwater crocodile. I love them. I love those dudes. Crocodiles in general are just so good. Snakes as well. Lizards as well. I love reptiles. And then from mammals, tigers, bears, elephants. I love them all. Dogs. Would you rather have a Rinnegan or the Mangekyo Sharingan? Probably the Rinnegan, because with the Mangekyo Sharingan, you're taking your chances on what abilities you're gonna get, and as well you're gonna go blind at some point if you don't get the Eternal Sharingan. So Rinnegan is just a much safer option overall. And like, even without the blindness aspect, it's still... You're still taking your chances with the Sharingan. Because you could get a busted ability for real life, or you could get just weapon control like what Shin has, and you would just be useless pretty much. Like, you would get some benefits just from the Sharingan in general, like being able to put people in illusions, but overall not that much. Tokyo Ghoul Season 3 is very bad. The anime is terrible. Like, they crammed like 200 chapters into 20 episodes, which is absolutely ridiculous. I was referring strictly to the manga. The Tokyo Ghoul manga is billions of times better than the anime. And that's not even an exaggeration. What Kekkei Genkai would you want? Probably Wood Release. Wood Release sounds fun in real life. Bro, I'm gonna... Okay, there's this one really annoying neighbor who's buying out parts of a forest, and then he hasn't cut it down yet, but he cut down a part of the forest where I'm at. So what I would do is I would get Wood Release and then just flood his house with wood. That's what I would do. That's the first thing that would happen. He would wake up to a garden and a house filled with wood. Deep forest emergence on the garden. What if Boros ate a Sukuna finger? Honestly, Sukuna could do nothing. Like, he could never take Boros over, in my opinion. Boros is just so much stronger. Like, he would just be trapped in Boros' body, and that's kind of it. If I had the skills and money, I would have made my own adaptation of One Punch Man webcomic, like a fan animation. That would be good. That would be goated. But yeah. It's always the resources and the skills that kind of kill it. Adult Gon's mental is broken. Yeah. Toji versus Human Garo, who wins? If you really highball, JJK Toji, but if you don't, Human Garo, I would say. Put the scaling aside and focus more on enjoyment. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. When new Boros video thing? Maybe next month. I'll see how quickly I get Boros versus Madara out. Duo Sukuna and Gojo versus Naruto Gauntlet. Hey, a friend of mine, Thunder God, made a video on that actually. Sukuna and Gojo versus the Naruto War on Gauntlet. If you want to check that out, you could. You know, Thunder God, Sukuna and Gojo, you could probably find it. I find scaling on planet size dumb, especially for One Piece. Maybe. It's just like, it's just something, you know, like you can do if you want to bump up a versus power. Like for Naruto, I didn't use it as a main argument. I was just like, oh, if you want to use this, you can use this. But if you don't use this is how the fight goes. You know, something like that. Sorry if I'm starting to stutter. We've been here for an hour and a half. I'll probably go pretty soon. Boros versus Zeus equals stats, who wins? Zeus has the Beyond Time Punch, which would definitely blitz Boros regardless, because it's a technique, not a physical stat that he... Well, it's a physical stat, but it's a result of a technique. But Boros' regeneration is just so busted that Zeus couldn't really put him down with equal stats, so I think Boros would win. What fictional animal would you want as a pet? See, my first instinct is to say like a dragon or something. Just like have Smaug from Hobbit in my back garden, just like serving me or something, I don't know. But the authorities would be unhappy about that. I would have tanks rolling up to my house soon, so giant fictional creatures probably go out the window. Can I just say Shenron? Like I can just summon him whenever and then ask for wishes. Can I just say that? What anime food do you want to eat the most? There's this one food in Dragon Ball Super, in like a filler episode where Bulma takes Whis to a shop, and then it just like they prepare this really good shrimp food. So I would like to taste that. How busted would Sasuke or Madara be with all Mangekyo abilities? Sasuke with Kamui and with Limbo against Ishiki would have still been a slaughter probably, because Ishiki is just that much stronger, but it would have definitely made a difference. And then against Momoshiki, they would have definitely won a lot easier with Sasuke having those abilities. Madara with all Mangekyo abilities, he would have still probably just gotten stabbed in the end by Zetsu regardless. Because that was his weakness, he trusted Zetsu. What emotion did you feel when you saw Boros alive in the webcomic recently? Distant excitement, I'd say that. Like, I'm cautious about what they want to do with him. I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm optimistic to some degree, I would say. Watch the new part 6 of Goku vs. Saitama. I have not watched any recent Goku vs. Saitama series. I've seen it in my recommendation, but I haven't watched it. Do you play Elden Ring? The Tarnished has universal scaling law. I don't play Elden Ring. The only games I really play are just Subnautica, Minecraft, and sometimes a few mobile games, and that's kind of it. And then there are some really old games from my childhood that I just sort of whip out from time to time, just for the nostalgia factor. What do you think they're going to do with Boros in the webcomic? I don't know, and I'm just, again, I'm cautious about what they do with him. We'll see. I think at this point it's either he's going to be just his own thing, like he's going to just break out of Metal Knight's control and do his own thing, or he's going to be a machine for Metal Knight. It's gonna be one or the other, probably. I just watched the last episode of Kushina Survived, and I can't believe how close Obito was to dying. Yeah, Obito got decimated in that part. That was fun to write. Adam vs. Saitama, that's gonna be a video. Would you rather have the Infinity Gauntlet that doesn't hurt you, or a wish on the Super Dragon Balls? See, the thing is, an Infinity Gauntlet that doesn't hurt me is fine, but if I just get a wish on the Super Dragon Balls, and I just wish to be able to grant my own wishes, that's kind of the same thing, but then, see, the Infinity Gauntlet could still be stolen or something like that. The ability to grant my own wishes, an infinite number of them, would not be able to be stolen away, so I would say that. I would say a wish on the Super Dragon Balls. Because it's not like a genie, like you could definitely just like say, hello, let me grant my own wishes inside my head, you know, or whatever, something like that. What if Madara didn't receive a back shot by Zetsu? He would have probably lost to Naruto and Sasuke anyway, because they won against Kaguya, who was way stronger than Madara, so they would have probably sealed him away. It would have been a much better narrative fight, though, with Madara as the final villain. The pet from Chainsaw Man, Pochito, would help you with the trees. I need to read Chainsaw Man at some point. I've heard it's good. One of my friends is really into Chainsaw Man. What if Sasuke used all his Rinnegan abilities? Kurama would still be alive and Sasuke would still have his Rinnegan. I'm not sure, because a lot of the Rinnegan abilities just sort of get power crept. Like, the missiles aren't gonna do anything, the animal summons aren't gonna do anything. Then, Tendo Pain is a physical force. Ishiki is so much greater than Sasuke physically that it wouldn't really be able to affect him at all. And then what else? Rinnegan rods could not pierce Ishiki, probably. Like, he's just that much stronger, faster. There's just, like, all the abilities just sort of get countered by Ishiki. I don't think Metal Knight is the evil guy in One Punch Man. I'm 1000% convinced. Oh, come on. There's an ad. Again. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I don't think Metal Knight is the evil guy. 1000% convinced that Drive Knight is evil and the leader of the organization. Yeah, I think so as well. I don't believe Metal Knight is evil. What if Lord Boros became Saitama's new student or pet? No. 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 Boros becomes Saitama's kid? No. What's up, Satri? What's up, him? Does Zeus's time stop punch actually stop time? If so, shouldn't Adam be infinite speed? It goes beyond time. It doesn't stop time, it just happens in like 0 time at all. So, yeah, Adam would be infinite speed. What if Kabuto actually used the Edos effectively? Well, I keep saying, just take Daedra, plop him onto a battlefield, have him self-destruct, you've taken out like half of the Shinobi Alliance already. Or a fifth of them. So just do that 4 more times and you won the war. Why didn't Sasuke make his own 6 Paths of Pain using random dead bodies? Because the Paths of Pain are just weaker versions of himself with less abilities, so it's kind of useless for him. King of Hell would have been hella useful. To heal, yeah, but it's not a combat ability. It's just for healing. One of the reasons to read Chainsaw Man is the expressions of the characters it's drawn in the manga. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'll probably watch the anime and then read the manga. Or I'll read the manga and then watch the anime adaptation of it. Kabuto should have focused on quality, not quantity. Yeah, I would agree. But anyways, this has been a pretty long stream, so I think we'll go now. This was 1 hour and 40 minutes, so I think that's pretty good. It was fun chatting with you guys. If you have anything else to say, this is your time now. But I'll probably be going in like a minute or 2, so I'll just give chat some time to catch up. Goodbye, Cosmic Tribunal. This is a real stream. Is it like, you know, like when people say you're a real one? Something like that kind of meaning? But yeah, it's been a fun stream, so have a good day. Nikita, Sekmester Tao, Ike. Satri versus Boros, who wins? I'm the author of Boros at this point, so I think I win. I think I write him, and I win. If it's canon Boros, though, then that's a different story. Well, bye, see you soon. I need to go over One Punch Man verse, and please get into Black Clover scaling. Maybe I'll see, but I don't want to get into scaling for new series most of the time. So I don't know. Let's see. Right, so see ya. Have a good day. Just wanted to say I'm new to this channel and love your stuff. Good luck on future projects. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a nice day. And see you next time. Goodbye.